When your dog walks away from you, do you actually know what that means? You might think they're ignoring you, maybe even being stubborn or disobedient. But behind that simple action, there's something deeper that most dog owners completely miss. It's one of the most instinctive and vulnerable things your dog can do. And if you misunderstand it, which most owners do, you might slowly damage your dog's trust without even realizing it. Let's start with what this behavior really means. 1. It's not rejection. It's communication. Have you ever called your dog, and instead of coming closer, they turn and walk away? It feels personal, doesn't it? Like they're choosing distance over you. Most people think it's about disobedience, that the dog is being difficult, testing boundaries, ignoring commands. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog isn't rejecting you. They're communicating something they can't say any other way. Walking away is often your dog's version of saying, I need a moment. This feels like too much. I am not comfortable right now. Dogs don't argue. They don't debate. They move. Emotionally, this is huge because instead of escalating tension, your dog is choosing distance over conflict. Think about that for a second. In the wild, avoiding confrontation is a survival strategy. Dogs evolved to reduce risk, not create it. So when your dog walks away, they're not disconnecting from you. They're trying to preserve the relationship in the safest way they know. And what this reveals is powerful. Your dog sees you as important enough to avoid conflict with. 2. The science of overstimulation. Now, let's go deeper. Have you noticed this happens more in certain situations? Maybe during training, when guests are over, or when there's too much noise or activity. Most people assume the dog is losing focus. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog's brain is overloaded. A 2020 study on canine cognition found that dogs, like humans, experience cognitive fatigue when exposed to too many stimuli at once. Too many sounds, movements, commands, emotions. And when that happens, their nervous system looks for relief. So they walk away. Not because they don't care, but because they physically can't process more. Emotionally, this means your dog is trying to regulate themselves. Think about that for a second. Instead of snapping, barking, or shutting down completely, they choose distance. That's not failure. That's self-control. And here's where it gets even deeper. When your dog walks away, instead of reacting, they're showing trust in the environment. Trust that they don't need to defend themselves, which means they feel relatively safe with you. 3. Your scent is their safe zone. Now let's shift into something most owners never think about. Have you ever seen your dog walk away, only to lie down somewhere nearby? Not far, just a few steps away. Most people think they just want to be alone. Here is what's actually happening. Dogs don't just see the world, they smell it. Studies on domestic dogs show they can identify and track their owner's scent, even in complex environments. So when your dog walks away but stays within your scent range, they're not leaving you. They're adjusting distance while staying connected. Emotionally, this is everything. Because your dog is saying, I trust you, but I need space right now. Think about that for a second. In a pack, dogs don't always stay physically close, but they stay within awareness range. That balance between closeness and space is what creates a stable bond. What makes this even more powerful is your dog is treating you like a secure base, someone they can step away from and still feel safe. And that's one of the strongest forms of attachment a dog can have. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your dog, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more people who want to build a real bond with their dog. 4. This behavior starts in puppyhood. Let's go back to the beginning. When puppies are very young, they stay close to their mother, but not constantly. They explore, they wander, and when things feel overwhelming, they step away. Most people think adult dog behavior is random. Here's what's actually happening. Walking away is deeply rooted in early development. It's how puppies learn emotional regulation. They approach when they feel safe. They retreat when they need to process. That pattern doesn't disappear as they grow. It evolves. Think about that for a second. Your adult dog walking away from you is the same instinct they used as a puppy to stay safe. And here's where it gets even deeper. In wolf packs, space is respected. Forcing closeness can create tension, but allowing space builds trust. So when you respect your dog's decision to walk away, you're speaking their language. You're showing them, I understand your needs. And in your dog's world, that means everything. 5. They don't do this with everyone. Does your dog walk away from strangers the same way they walk away from you? Probably not. Most people assume this behavior is general. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog's behavior changes based on emotional safety. With strangers, they might freeze, avoid eye contact, or stay hyper-aware. But with you, they feel safe enough to disengage. Emotionally, this is a sign of trust. Think about that for a second. Your dog isn't afraid to create space from you because they believe the connection will still be there. That's attachment. What makes this even more powerful is your dog is choosing honesty over obedience. Instead of forcing themselves to stay close, they show you what they actually feel. And that means they trust you not to punish that honesty. 6. The real reason, trust, not distance. Now, let's bring everything together. Because this is where most owners get it wrong. When your dog walks away, it looks like distance. It feels like disconnection. But here's what's actually happening. It's trust. Deep, quiet, trust. Your dog trusts that they can step away, and you won't chase them, force them, or make them feel unsafe. Emotionally, this is one of the most vulnerable things a dog can do, because they're exposing their need for space without knowing how you'll respond. Think about that for a second. If every time your dog walks away, you call them back, grab them, or correct them, they stop communicating. And when that happens, the next signal won't be walking away. It might be growling, snapping, or complete shutdown. And here's where it gets even deeper. Respecting your dog's space doesn't weaken your bond. It strengthens it, because now your dog learns, with you, I am safe to be myself. 7. When you should pay attention. But there's one situation you should never ignore. If your dog suddenly starts walking away more than usual, especially if it's new behavior, something might be wrong. Most people assume mood changes are random. Here's what's actually happening. Sudden withdrawal can signal discomfort, stress, or even early health issues. Dogs often create distance when they don't feel well, not to reject you, but to cope quietly. Think about that for a second. Your dog might be trying to handle something without burdening you. So if this behavior changes suddenly, pay attention, because this is where your awareness matters most. So the next time your dog walks away from you, don't take it personally. Remember what it really means. It's not rejection. It's not disobedience. That's emotional regulation. That's trust. That's communication. That behavior. It was never small to your dog. And it shouldn't be small to you either.